welcome to This Week in Formula 1. First up, 35% of the grid out of contract at the end of the season. Man, that sounds rough, doesn't it? But that truly is, at the time of writing, the percentage of drivers whose contracts are expiring at the end of the season. 7 out of the current 20 drivers' contracts expire soon. Now obviously most of these will be sorted out in the next few months, but it's still rather interesting to note who is out of contract, and it also makes the driver roundabout even more interesting. The merry-go-round is going to go crazy. The big one, of course, is Mr. Lewis Hamilton. Much has been written about his future recently, with rumours linking Sir Lewis to everyone from Ferrari to Red Bull. Except Haas. I haven't seen him linked to Haas. Now, it is rumoured that lack of development on a rather sucky kind of 2023 car has hampered development on Hamilton signing with the Germans for another season. He'll probably sign though. I can't see him retiring, and I really can't see him leaving. Logan Sargent, the first American in the sport in ages, has been okay so far at Williams, but he has had his butt kicked solidly by Albon, hasn't he? Expect him to re-sign though, rather than resign. Yuki Tsunoda, a bit of a fan favourite and destroyed poor St. Nicholas de Vries. Rather surprisingly linked with Perez's spot by some very positive writers, but will probably be at AlphaTauri or whatever they'll be called next season. Daniel Ricciardo, already? The guy isn't even back yet really, and he's already out again? No, I don't think so. I believe Red Bull will give Mr. Smiley a new contract, and he may even push poor Perez out of the senior team. K-Mag has been decent since replacing the all-time greatest Russian of all drivers, no, greatest driver of any type of car, Nikita Mazepin. Some time ago now. Expect him to remain at Haas though, unless something really strange happens. Nico Hülkenberg is done very well, and Hulk should still be at Haas next year. Zhou Guanju, the man with a name no white guy can say. No rumours linking him or his massive sponsorship backing to Williams or Haas, so expect him to stay at Alpha until Audi kicks him to the curb. What is your Formula 1 team worth? An interesting article this, so let's get down to it. Number 10, Williams. The team Frank built is now worth 725 mil, USD that is, not too shabby. Number 9, Haas. The Americans who were a bit Russian are now worth 780 million US dollars. I wonder if Rich Energy still owes them a few bob. Number 8, Alfa Romeo, reportedly worth $900 million, and I'm sure Audi's official 2026 entry will push their value up quite a bit. 7, AlphaTauri, yep, we're into the billions. Red Bull B is worth $1.1 billion. And they still can't seem to score a point. 6th, Aston Martin, the team owned by the best Bond villain never to be in a James Bond film, is reportedly worth $1.3 billion US dollars. Number 5, Alpine, Renault's dirty little racing secret, valued $1.4 billion. Number 4, McLaren, the most expensive papaya you're likely to see. You can buy it for a cool $2.2 billion. Number 3, RBR, Red Bull only valued as the third valuable team in Formula 1. I'm not sure how they calculated this. $2.6 billion. I wonder if that includes their catering budget. Number 2, Mercedes. Team Toto valued at $3.8 billion. And number 1, you guessed it, Ferrari. $3.9 billion. Just under $4 billion worth, and they can't seem to get close to a win at the moment. I've always admired the little horsies from Maranello, but it's a shame how they seem to be able to pull defeat from the jaws of victory. Headlines. Latifi calls it quits. Fired by Williams and seemingly ignored by his dad, not willing to buy him a team like Stroll's daddy did. Now the King Goat Latifi has announced that he will go back to school and attain a business degree. Good for you, sir. Some options for St. Nick de Vries. After getting sacked by Red Bull B, de Vries is being linked with a move back to Formula E. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Former on-track foe of Mick Schumacher's dad and ex-boyfriend of Mick Schumacher's mom. Heinz-Harald Frentzen is rumoured to be backing the young German in his bid to return to the Formula 1 grid. Some more rhyming for you. The German was quoted as saying, and I quote, "Hulky, let me talk to Steiner, that he makes your car 1 second faster. If I can, I help him with that and try to convince him to get Mick back." Then somebody responded, "I think Mick has been extremely good for popularity." And Frentzen again, A lot of people watched because of Mick. For me, Hulk is a cheap substitute for the German fans as a stopgap because they didn't want to scare away the German fan scene after the departure of Vettel and Schumacher. And that is what we have before showing you some of the most awesome memes I saw on the internet this week. I hope you enjoy them, and I hope in Hungary you'll see some proper papaya power to push the Red Bulls a little bit towards the end of the race, because respect to Verstappen and respect to Red Bull and Newey. Wow, it would be nice to see someone else win, wouldn't it? But that's just my opinion. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please think about subscribing. Think about coming back again for more stuff. We've got new stuff every week. Working hard on some stuff. Hope you enjoy it. I hope you can forgive me for my horrible South African accent, because if I spoke Afrikaans, you wouldn't have understood me in all probability. Either way, God bless. Goodbye.